parties and independent candidates who want to contest for the local government elections have until 9 o'clock tonight to submit both their nominations and their payments to the Electoral Commission. It comes after the IEC extended the cut-off time. Parties have to hand in their lists amid the uncertainty of whether the elections will go ahead at the end of October or be postponed. The Electoral Commission says failure to make the payments will result in the automatic disqualification of a party involved. It says so far 97 political parties and 353 independent candidates have either captured or submitted their nominations. Meanwhile, the ANC in Limpopo says it's had to change its list of candidates to represent gender parity and to include youth, younger people. The ANC in Limpopo says it believes its list is being widely welcomed and there's been no pushback so far. Pelane Phakgadi is standing by for us in Limpopo. Pelane, good afternoon to you. What's the latest from there?
Definitely. I mean, you just hit it on the nail on the head right there. It was an issue now of gender parity as well as including young people in that particular list. The meeting ending at around 4:30 this morning. And the person who was chairing that particular meeting is Soviet Lekganyane, the secretary of the province here in Limpopo. Khome, thank you for joining us on 405. There has been a number of people who have been coming in and out of your office for the last couple of hours that you've been here. They are, of course, bringing some disputes. What are those disputes and how are you handling them?
First of all, let me thank this opportunity to communicate with you and your viewers. Good afternoon to them. Look, we are chasing the 5 o'clock deadline. It's a target which we have put for ourselves. We met at the National Executive Committee over the weekend. This morning, we also concluded our PEC extended, which ran from 5 o'clock yesterday until this morning at 4:30. But let me tell you, we are satisfied that we have done justice. The list that we presented at the National Executive Committee, the National Executive Committee is satisfied. The ANC has many members, has comrades who have interest, have comrades who have been nominated by branches. Each one of them will want to know how their processes were managed. That's why, as we talk now, you can see there are drips and drabs of comrades coming to the office. Some of them have submitted disputes with us, and we acknowledge that we have disputes that are still outstanding. We still have...
what are some of those disputes?
No, it's about the outcomes of voting process in branches and community meetings. But we have agreed that we are a wise organization. We've been running elections for a very long time. We have existed for over 100 years. We can't lack wisdom to deal with any problem, no matter what time it comes. So you can see the comrades are very peaceful because we have spoken to them with responsibility for them to understand what the ANC will be doing to attend to all those matters that they are raising with us. We are taking responsibility for everything. We can't run away from them. They are our members. And we're not saying there is anybody who has done a wrong thing. All of them are going to be given a chance to present their cases, and the right decisions will be made.
Gender parity, young people, of course, that should lead, should be the focus of your list, as earlier your spokesperson was saying.
That one is non-negotiable. It's a policy matter in the constitution of the African National Congress. Let me give you an example. Bela local municipality, it has 9 wards, and on our list of candidates, ward candidates, there are 6 males and 3 females. If you check our PR list, whatever time the IEC may decide to release the list, you will see that the PR list also has 6 females and 3 males, because we have to comply 100%. There is no list where there should be less than 50% representation of women. With regard to the representation of young people, I think we have done our best across all the districts to make sure that there are young people who are represented, and we must thank the national task team of the ANC Youth League, because in our meeting they sent 5 comrades who have been with us here since Friday, and the comrades were unrelenting. They are representing the interests of the young people to the best of their abilities. They raised those difficult issues, and the ANC had to comply, where they requested that we need to have a young person within the first 10 names or within the first 15 names. We had to do that because it's a decision of the African National Congress. When we adopted the guidelines, we did that with open minds. We knew what we were doing.
Yeah, just a quick one before I let you go home. The PEC, perhaps, when will it be sitting to discuss the issue of the Treasury office? Your provincial treasurer, the name Caesar, has stepped aside owing to the criminal charges that he's currently facing. How are you going to be dealing with that particular void?
The matter is not subject to discussion. The National Executive Committee of the ANC took a decision in March this year that all comrades who are criminally indicted were given until the 28th of April to step aside. And if they had not stepped aside, those comrades have to be suspended. And so there were issues where, when we came back to report to the PEC about the decisions of the NEC, the PEC said, write back to them and request them to apply a waiver in the case of the comrade, because he had stepped aside before for almost 2 years. And for sure, you know, the National Executive Committee considered all those reports and said that the step-aside guidelines have to be consistently applied across all provinces without any deviation. What it meant was that there was not going to be any special dispensation. There was not going to be any compromise on the application of the step-aside guidelines. So it must not even be about an individual. It must be about every member of the ANC, who we may know and who we may not know. Like now, when we are registering our list, all comrades who are charged are not supposed to be on our list. All comrades who have stepped aside as well, they cannot be on our list, because those are our decisions. We may not know by now, but wherever you are, if you know, help the organization, because it may not be nice when we discover later.
Definitely. Thank you very much. That's Soviet Lekganyane, as the provincial secretary of the African National Congress here in Limpopo, really putting matters into place as far as the treasury position is concerned. It is not a debatable matter, he says, and the PEC will be sitting to discuss a way forward as to how will they be dealing with the responsibilities between the top 5 who will be now assisting that particular department to ensure that they are able to solicit some funds towards the local government elections. Stephen?
Pelane Phakgadi, thanks very much indeed. Do appreciate it. Live from Limpopo this afternoon with, of course, the ANC Provincial Secretary there, Soviet Lekganyane. Well,